So probably the most boring boss of the tier. We've talked about how these walls already work. Um, Zess and Wumbo, unless you guys play awful, you are guaranteed to be on this boss fight. When I make group splits, one of you will be on one side, one of you will be on the other. And essentially, and this is for everybody to understand, if Zess or Wumbo grips your ad, you are going to that side. So you need to have your head on a swivel at all times. If you are consistently on the right side trying to take your ad to the right side, but Wumbo gripped your ad to the left side and you're not recognizing it, and we keep dying to that, that's a very good reason to get yourself sat. So you need to be constantly aware in this intermission. It's really the only time of the fight where you need to be like super aware. The other part of the fight where we're not killing ads is crazy mind numbing. But you have to be aware in this part of the fight. The second thing is if you're standing inside of this circle when these ads die, the debuff you get is a 100% damage taken for 30 seconds plus a knockback. So essentially, you will die if you are standing inside of these circles when the ads start blowing up. Obviously, that's super simple, but every single time we kill an ad, they do like 100k damage to every person in the raid. So I'm not 100% certain yet if we are going to kill all of the right side first and then all of the left side first or second, or just YOLO kill them as fast as we can. We'll have to see how bad the damage is once the boss actually goes live. On Heroic, it's just 2, but on Mythic, it's 3. I don't know how many ads we get in Heroic, but I know we get 7 in Mythic. And the plan is to practice what we are going to do in Mythic on Heroic because it's just such an easy boss that there's no reason not to start learning the muscle memory. So the fixation looks something like this. I don't care if we take 3 to one side or 4 to another side. The only thing that I know for sure is that it's too much, in my opinion, and from talking to a couple other raid leaders, for the raid leader to call out 7 different names and saying you guys are going left versus you guys are going right. So all we know for sure is that it's either the tank that has the debuff or the tank that's not currently tanking the boss, which is probably the tank that has the debuff, gets fixated. Right. It's almost one healer 100% of the time. So my idea is the tank that's fixated and any healer that's fixated goes left, and then whatever DK grips your ad to the left, you also go left. And then everyone else goes right. So one of the key problems that can occur is, let's say it's Zess on the right side and he grips the tank fixated ad. That's just crazed or thick calming. One of the people on the right needs to go left. Right? Crazed and thick are going to have to be vocal about my ad got gripped, need someone on right to go left, something like that. One of the biggest things that I think a lot of us are going to have to get used to with no more weak auras is we don't have something to tell us where to go. So a lot of us that don't necessarily talk a lot of the time, we're going to have to cue our mics a bit more to say something. So please be ready to do that. That's nothing. There's 2 different ways that we can kill ads. If the boss is super tightly tuned and we need all the time in the world, the first set will always die way in the back, the second set will die somewhere in the middle, and the third set will die closer to the boss. They leave goo on the ground when they die. That's the reason we have to do it this way. It's a hustle when we have these middle and back spawns to get your ad there as soon as possible, please. If the boss is not so tightly tuned, the plan is going to be ignore the third set, kill the first set in the middle, second set by the boss. There's also a chance that there's too much area of denial and we have to do something like this, but I'm hoping that we don't have to. That is the entire boss. One of the things we talked about last time too is they are fully grippable and they are now fully CCable. So everything works. All stuns, all pushes, all everything. So when we kill these mites, and I'll skip ahead because This is still fully rangeable, range DPS, so you can stand all the way in the back of this donut, and it'll end before it hits your max range for a lot of you max range classes. So when these ads spawn, this is when the damage starts, healers. And then once we start killing them is when all the damage starts. So they're going to take them to the back of the room. We do not, and I cannot emphasize this enough, we cannot start blowing these things up immediately. They need to get to their spot before we start killing them. Some of these things are getting really, really low. And like that middle one didn't even get to the wall. It's not even going to touch the wall. We can't do that. So they decide to break the right wall first, and then they take these last 3 ads to the left, and they break them here. I don't think we need to kill them this far back. This seems a bit excessive, but I am not a 1000% sure on how big these goo puddles are going to be for area denial. Now we just do the beam, and now we're repeating. So healers, your guys' damage here, when the ads spawn, when the ads die, and then during this beam is a lot of damage as well. There is 3 rotations of this, and then after he does this 3rd beam is enrage, and we are all dead. Real quick, healers. This is what your damage breakdown looks like. This is just damage that hits all players at all times. This is the parasite spawning. This is him just doing AoE smashing damage, void breath, and then blister burst is when the ads die. So essentially what I'm getting at here, healers, is most of the damage that happens is raid wide. It's not like one person's getting trucked or anything like that. So, all right, any questions about this?
Do any of the ads spawn relative, or do the ads spawn relative to the person they fixated on, like in
Don't
near
think
them,
so.
or is it all just pure random?
I
Okay.
don't think so. I think it's completely random. And then, like we talked about last time, there is 6 ads that spawn with about 900k health, and then there is a 7th ad that spawns with about 1.3, 1.4 million. I tried seeing if that higher health ad is like the one that gets fixated on the tank. I couldn't confirm it. It might not. I have no idea. All I know for certain is that it has no different interaction than any of the other ads that I can see. So yeah. Anything else?